everybody. Welcome back. And we're looking at the last scale that we did, F sharp major. And we're going to determine the next scale by going F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp. So we've gone up 5 steps to C sharp. C sharp major is our next scale. Let's begin with our treble clef. And just like C major, we'll begin on middle C, but now it'll be C sharp, and we'll go right up. F, G, A, B, and C, this time C sharp. All right, let's write in our half-step carrots. 3 and 4, 7 and 8. And here we go. C sharp to D is a half step. I need to raise the D to a D sharp to get a whole. D sharp to E is no good. I need to raise the E to an E sharp, which is really an F on the keyboard. We explained that last scale. E sharp. Now, this is curious. We have an E sharp, which is really an F, to an F, so they're the same notes. So I have to raise the F to an F sharp. That's bizarre. So E sharp, which is really, looks like an F on the keyboard, goes up to an F sharp, and you have a half step. F sharp to G is no good. I have to raise the G to a G sharp to get a whole step. G sharp to A is a half step. I need to raise the A up to an A sharp. And that's a whole now. A sharp to B is a half step. And I need to raise the B to a B sharp, which looks like a C on the keyboard. And finally, we have B sharp to C sharp, which is our half step on top. Don't forget, the B sharp really looks like a C on the keyboard, so visually you see a C going up to a C sharp, but for the purposes of our scale, we have to call it, remember, consecutive letter names, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp, some kind of A, some kind of B, some kind of C. Let's see what this looks like on the keyboard now. So we begin on C sharp, we go up a whole step to D sharp, then we go up a whole step to E sharp, which really looks like an F on the keyboard, but we need C, D, E of some kind. Then we go E sharp to F sharp, that's our half step, F sharp to G sharp, whole step, G sharp to A sharp, whole step, and now we have to go A sharp, not to C, but we have to rename this B sharp because we need F, G, A, some kind of B. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, and then from B sharp to C sharp is our half step on top. Let's move on to the key signature now. So we have our G clef again, and F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. Then we broke the pattern, came down 4 to A sharp. Then we went up 5 to E sharp. And now we're going to come down another 4 steps from E to E, D, C to B sharp. And that completes our C sharp key signature. And once again, I'm going to claim that this is the key signature of C sharp major. Someone asks you, what's the key signature of C sharp major? Well, you say 7 sharps. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, B sharp. That's a real mouthful. Well, we've already spent a lot of time in the very beginning going up the C scale. And it was C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then we went backwards. So now all you have to do is add sharps. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp. And there is your scale going up. And one more quick reminder, you look at this page and all you see is sharps. And you go, oh my God. But once again, realize that only 5 of these notes are sharps. Actually 6 if we include the top C sharp. The E sharp and the B sharp are white keys on the piano. So black keys are C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and then of course the top C sharp. All right, moving on to bass clef, C sharp major, draw F clef, and we're going down F, E, D, C to the second space. That'll be a C sharp, D, E, F, G, A, B, and middle C floating on a ledger line above the staff. And we turn that into a C sharp. Half step carrots between 3 and 4, 7 and 8. Let's get started. C sharp to D is a half step. We raise the D to a D sharp, making this a whole step. D sharp to E is a half step. We raise the E to an E sharp. E sharp on the piano is an F, and we discussed this up above, so this is essentially an F to an F. I have to turn this into an F sharp, so the E sharp now to an F sharp is a half step. F sharp to G is a half step. I need a whole step. I raise the G to a G sharp. G sharp to A is a half step. I raise the A to an A sharp, so we have a whole step. And A sharp to B is a half step, so I have to raise the B up to what looks like a C on the keyboard, but it's, for purposes of our scale, it's called a C sharp. A B sharp. And then we have B sharp to C sharp on top, which is our half step. And the key signature in the bass clef looks like this now. So we have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. Then we break the cycle, we come down. We came down 4 from G to D. Well, we're going to come down 4 instead of going up 5. D comes down to A, as we did up here, D coming down to A. And now we go up 5 from A to E, and then down 4 from E to B, E, D, C, B. And that is our key signature for C sharp major in bass clef. All right, let's say the notes together. And the sharps do make it into a kind of a tongue twister if you try to go really fast. So we can easily go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, but boy, you throw in the sharps and it's a totally different experience. So let's see what we can do. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. And then G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp. Let's go to G sharp. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp. Let's go all the way up. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp. There you go. And let's write it descending now. So we're going to come down from this C and say the alphabet basically backwards. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. So, yes, treble clef. We've already done this with the C scale. C, B, plenty of practice here. A, G, F, E, D, C. And we'll put in the C sharps because after all, it is the C sharp major scale. And let's fill in the other sharps in the order that we find them in the key signature. So we have F sharp. We already have our C sharp, so we have F sharp, C sharp, then G sharp, then D sharp, then A sharp, then E sharp, and B sharp. And again, this is kind of a tongue twister once you add the sharps into the mix. Remember, we had C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, which we can easily do now because we've practiced it so many times at home. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Put in the sharps, it's a whole different story. C sharp, B sharp, A sharp, G sharp. Again, C sharp, B sharp, A sharp, G sharp. And then F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp. F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp. Let's go C sharp to F sharp. C sharp, B sharp, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp. See if we can go right down. C sharp, B sharp, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp. Very good. And now we're going to write the bass clef descending. So we'll start on middle C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. They're all sharped. Come down here, bass clef. A little difficult here. Okay, and we'll begin with C floating above the bass staff, B, A, G, F, E, D, and C. Double R. All right, let's fill in the sharps according to the order of sharps of C sharp major. This time I'm going to leave the C's free. So we'll start with F sharp. Then we have C sharp next. Well, we have two of those because it's the C sharp scale. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. Where is D sharp? A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. There you go. And let's recite the first four: C sharp, B sharp, A sharp, G sharp. Again, C sharp, B sharp, A sharp, G sharp. And next, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp. F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp. Go down to F. C sharp, B sharp, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp. All the way down. C sharp, B sharp, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp. Yikes. Okay, for homework, you're going to use a lot of ink now with all of these sharps. So 3 times, treble clef, write out the key signature 3 times. As you're writing the notes in, say them. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, etc. Same thing with the bass clef 3 times. Write in the key signature. All right? And then descending, write it out 3 times. Also on all of these notes, after you've written them in, please write in the names of the notes to reinforce your knowledge and understanding of these circles on the page. That's what they are. And so on. Okay. So here we are at the end of the line for the sharp scales in the circle of fifths. with our addition of our new scale C sharp major. So let's recap. We began with no sharps, C. We went up 5, G, needed an F sharp at the 7th degree. That became the key signature of G. Went up 5 to D, D added a C sharp. New key signature was F sharp, C sharp. Went up 5 to A, new key signature of A, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. We went up 5 from A to E, the new key signature F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. Each time the new scale is inheriting the previous sharps. Go up 5 from E to B, add the A sharp, new key signature F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp. Went up another 5 in the B scale, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. We find out F sharp needs an E sharp on the 7th degree, and we almost have all of the letter names A, B, C, D, E, F, G covered. We have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and now we go F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp, and the 7th degree is a B sharp, and now we have all of the letter names A through G covered in sharps. To demonstrate, we have A sharp, B sharp, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. Once again, I'd just like to thank you for sticking it out with me through all of these scales from C to C sharp major. If you like what you're learning here, please hit the subscribe button. And there's also a little bell next to the subscribe button, and if you hit that, every time I come out with a new video, you will be notified. There will be some follow-up lessons dealing with the sharp scales before we go backwards through the circle, which is going to be interesting too. One of those lessons will be an easy way, if you look at a key signature, to identify what key you're in. And another one will have to do with an easy way to remember the pattern of ascending sharps. You know, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and we'll use the keyboard for that. And another interesting topic is, what if we were to go on to the G sharp scale? What would happen then? What would be the consequences of that? And it's very interesting. And there's no reason to do a G sharp scale, but just theoretically, it's very interesting. So that's what's coming up. And once again, thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.